Hi there and welcome back. So in this video we're going to be developing what we looked at in the last video around suicide and tone of voice, and put those skills into a different context where we've got a patient and her husband who are emotive in a very aggressive way. So I'm going to jump into the scenario a little bit down the line into the story, but just give you a little bit of a backstory. We have the wife who we'll meet, and she's expressed concerns of discomfort and lumps in the breast. She feels as though she's been sidelined and fobbed off. Her partner is with her, and as we'll see in the scenario, it's actually him that's taking a lot of the lead. So what we'll be looking to do is using strategies that you can see just in the background there, how they can be used to navigate a situation that really is starting to escalate. So let's jump straight into it and see how it goes. The back of each response, we'll talk through it a little bit, as we did in the last video. So off we go.
Recognizing anger and remaining calm in the moment are only the first steps towards successfully navigating an angry conversation.
Now that Joe is starting to calm down, it's time for you to try responding with empathy. This means setting aside your own views and opinions in order to see and understand the situation from the other person's perspective.
The right response here will help Joe and Lucy feel listened to and understood, which should give them the reassurance they need to relate back to you with trust instead of anger.
Here are some strategies for responding to an angry patient or family member in a way that helps diffuse the situation.
We've added those strategies to your journal as a reminder. Now I think you'd better get back in there quick before Joe loses his temper again.
This is ridiculous. Lucy's been trying to tell you lot something was wrong for nearly a year now. What are you going to do about it?
I'm so sorry. It's hard to imagine how difficult this has been for you both.
Yeah. It has been. Very difficult.
Yes, Doctor. I mean, it's not just my health I'm worried about. There's the baby, my job. Joe works long hours.
I have to. We need both salaries just to pay the mortgage. And with the cost of living rising and all.
So it's identified the option I went for as a good choice. There's quite a bit in the statement itself. So not only is it an apology, but going back to what was said in the last video about choice of words and the impact, there's the empathy there of demonstrating an understanding or an appreciation of the scenario that the couple are faced with. And straight away, as we heard from kind of the response, there was that de-escalation in their tone of voice and in their body language. So let's see where we go from there. I recognise that you have a lot on your plate right now.
Exactly. We can't just sit around waiting.
Everyone keeps telling me it's just mastitis. Even you, Joe. But it's more than that. I know it is. I keep hearing how important early detection is, but it's been 9 months already. When is something going to happen?
So again, it's identified the choice went with as a good choice, because it's that reinforcement of empathy, which is obviously very different to sympathy. If you don't know the difference between the two, it's something that we can explore in class, if we haven't already. If we're looking at where they're at with the body language, Joe's still not... Let's come around the corner. Joe's still not, kind of 100% relaxed. There is still that aggression there. So we're on quite a knife edge here as to which way the conversation can still go. And that really, really emphasises the importance of those choice of words and how they're conveyed. I hear you.
Really? Because we're still not getting any answers yet.
So although he's not responded to that overly well as it may seem, out of the three options, it was the best option. As we can see on the board, from the strategies, one of the key points there is about not being judgmental. So if we tie this into psychology theory and think about a guy called Carl Rogers, he did a lot of work around in his theory about identifying core conditions of kind of creating a therapeutic basis, and being non-judgmental is one of them. I can see you're angry. I think I'd probably be upset in your position too.
Okay, so what happens now? When do we get the results of the biopsy?
Yeah, I've been poked and prodded with all these tests. When will I find out what they show?
So if we now look at Joe's body language, we can see that on that physical level, he's starting to really de-escalate. The arms have unfolded, the tone of voice has lowered, the volume has lowered, and kind of his wife is actually managing to get a word in edgeways. We can hear in her voice the anxiety is there, which is totally understandable in this scenario. But from here, we can actually, start to move forward and get an appropriate and effective dialogue going. I'm going to call you myself as soon as the results come in.
Brilliant. You'll call us right away, will you?
Hallelujah.
Now, the reason that it's identified this as not quite, as it's saying in the text, it may be the perfect solution for them. But if we think back to what was said before the simulation starts about, kind of your own well-being, and, kind of your own boundaries, and making promises that you can't guarantee you can keep, aren't always the best for, kind of either scenario. It may work out, but it actually may not. So in this scenario, Joe's responded really positively, but it isn't the right answer to give. Let's give it another go. Let's see what we can do to get you back in for the results as quickly as possible.
I don't always pick up my email right away, so can you make a note to have someone call my mobile, maybe?
Yeah, good idea. Your inbox has way too much unopened mail as it is.
There we go. So the outcome as far as the couple are concerned, they're both now smiling, they're making eye contact with each other. The tone of voice is kind of really calm and considered, and you're not setting self up to fail in, kind of promising something that you can't necessarily deliver.
Thanks for helping me to navigate that difficult conversation.
In many ways, it's harder to know how best to respond when a family member is getting angry than when it's the patient themselves.
Yes, when I was talking to Joe, I was acutely aware that the conversation was becoming more about him than it was about Lucy.
That's right. It's important not to let the patient or their family member's anger overshadow their quality of care. But remember that your own mental and physical health comes first. So if you ever feel at risk, the best response is always to maintain a safe distance, withdraw from the situation, and seek assistance.
As you can see, this scenario does go on. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. Just give you some kind of insight developing on the last video. Thank you for your time, as always, and we'll see you in the next video.